Brace the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an Enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. Start converting your B2B audience today. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started today at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Something just went in my eye. There we go, I got it. All right. Shout out to everybody that's already tuned in. Oh my gosh. I see y'all. Tasha. Let me play one song and let's get it popping. Let's see. Okay. Israel, I see y'all. Okay, let me stop playing. Let's get it started though.
It's
for the Couch Chronicles, where there ain't no fucking limits. Limits.
every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday from 8 Central Time. You don't never want to miss a couch. And now we're live every Wednesday and Friday from 9:30 a.m. Central Time. That's every day of the week. Yeah, tune in. You don't want to miss this shit. It's the Couch Chronicles, where they know what? I know you said it.
And I mean, I know you said it. We're going to play one song and then we're going to jump right into it. This song is called Successful off my first album, Scars on a Diamond. Check it out. Let's get into it.
I'ma stay on my grind. I'ma shine, nobody's gonna stop me now. I'm Ellen, I'm the man, and I got the plan. I can't say that I started from the bottom, but I can say that I'm grinding for my mama. I just wanna be successful. Who you know? I just wanna be successful. Hey, hey, hey. Not gonna stop till I'm up to the top, and I'm not gonna give up. I'm a phenomenal woman. Stronger than most.
Right.
It's not a joke. Don't be fooled by the smile that I am showing the world. I need the spot on the top so I can come clean. You know, just come in up. What is stopping me? I don't know, no, I don't know what is stopping me. What is stopping me? Hey, I don't know, no, I don't know what is stopping me. What is stopping me? But me. You better know I'm gonna be successful. Even if it kills me, I am coming through the door. On your mark, I'll make my mark. Get ready, set, go. Cause if I made it through the storm, I was meant to go on. They say your worst enemy is yourself, so I will only compete with myself. What is stopping me? I don't know, what is stopping me. I'ma stay on my grind. I'ma shine, nobody's gonna stop me now. I'm Ellen, I'm the man, and I got the plan. I can't say that I started from the bottom, but I can say that I'm grinding for my mama. I just wanna be successful.
Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. Period. I see y'all. Y'all, it's the Couch Chronicles where it ain't no fucking limits. Y'all, let me get Tasha on the couch. I can't wait to have her. Hey, girl. Let me make sure I got everything.
Hold on, I'm coming. Let me fix my camera.
All right. Let me turn my... There we go.
Wait, hold on. I'm trying to fix the camera.
I'm excited. Y'all, today is Sickle Cell Talk, and I started Sickle Cell Talk for my girl, Shaquanda. She was actually supposed to start it with me, but she ended up passing away. Shaquanda, we doing this for you and all the survivors and warriors out there right now. I love you, girl. Look at us.
Can y'all see me? I don't know what's going on with the camera.
It looked like a picture is up, maybe.
Hold on, let me try again. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's see.
I'm excited. Okay, I see you. Yes, there you are.
What's going on, girl?
What up, though? First of all, can you tell everybody who you are and where you are from and where you're located?
Okay, I'm Tasha. I'm from New Orleans. I'm located in New Orleans, and plus, you know, I'm a sickle cell warrior. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And you also have your own podcast, correct?
Yes, we have the Lola Girl podcast when we touch on different topics like mental health, everything you can think of, spiritual. We talk about it.
Period. How can for anyone that's listening right now, how can they follow your podcast?
Oh, it's on YouTube at Lola Girl Podcast. Just go to YouTube and you'll see me and my best friend picture up, and it's the Lola Girl Podcast. And plus, you can follow us on TikTok, the Lola Girl podcast page as well.
Okay. Now, how long have how long have y'all been podcasting?
Girl, this is new for us. Okay. We started in November. So we just working on, you know, it's new. So we're working on like the transition of trying to get everything down pat, how often we should do it. So yeah.
Right. Now, before we go on with any of the questions, I do want to give a moment of silence for the ones who didn't make it here today for whatever reason. So let's give this moment to them. Okay. Now, can you tell everybody what age you were when you were diagnosed with sickle cell?
Yes, I was 6 months, a baby.
Wow.
I was a baby. Yeah, a baby.
Now, have your family told you, you know, how they felt whenever they first found out, you know, what it was like, and does it run in the family?
Well, back then, you know, a lot of our people was not educated in that sense, right? So when they found out, truly, I don't know how they felt, but I know they wasn't aware of it, you know. They wasn't aware of what sickle cell was and how it could be prevented or what caused it, you know. So, yeah.
Now, does it run in your family?
Well, no, I'm not the one that has it, but my siblings have the trait. If you're not familiar, the sickle cell trait, because both of my parents carry the gene. So that's how I came out with the disease.
Wow.
And the rest of my siblings has the trait.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, you know, are you the youngest or the oldest or the middle?
I'm kind of I have an older brother, and then I'm behind him.
Okay.
So I'm like, you know, you could say the middle kind of.
Right. Now, you know, growing up, it must have been different for you because, you know, having sickle cell, you know, you're kind of like in the hospital and going to doctors more often than your other siblings. How did that make you feel growing up?
Well, growing up, and like I tell anybody else, my parents didn't make me feel any different. You know, there was difficult times. There were times I did have to go to the hospital, but my parents didn't put limitations on me. So I kind of grew up not in the sense of awareness, like they taught me about it and everything like that, but I didn't made to feel different. Right. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
girl, my chest so squeaky. You get it?
Right.
Oh,
It's all
Jesus.
good. I'm trying to make sure I get this other. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. Anyways, now, having sickle cell, we see what they say on the internet, but from your point of view, what is sickle cell like?
It's painful as hell, and it's exhausting. It's painful and exhausting. And the best way I can kind of describe the pain is like you being tortured or stabbed in the bones. That's the best way I could kind of describe the pain. And it's exhausting. Like you deal with fatigue a lot, So that's one of the main two things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, how are you able to deal with regular life? Like, how are you able to carry on?
Oh, girl, that's why they call us warriors.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we still have to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm a very independent person. So for me, still work, still being a mom, still getting it done despite having it. And I think as I got older, I learned how to control it better, if that makes sense. How to navigate it better.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, did they end up getting a trait, or how did that work?
Okay, so when I knew I wanted to have a kid, I knew I wanted to have kids, so I made sure that their father didn't have the trait. Because a lot of people, since we're aware of everything, it could be prevented.
Yeah.
So I took those steps to make sure, because I know what I went through as a child. And then seeing your child, you can't help them. Like when they're in pain and stuff like that, you can only do so much. You require medical help. So I decided to take the initiative to get my kids for the check to make sure. So yeah, they're fine in that department. They have the trait, but they're fine as far as not have to deal with what I deal with.
Right. Now, they only got the trait part because of you, or?
Yeah, because of me. Yeah.
Okay. Because regardless if both parents have the trait, even if one parent have the trait, the kids can still get it, correct?
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And I commend you because, a lot of times people, when they're looking to get or have babies, even when you do the artificial insemination, you can pick how you want your kids' eyes, how you want their hair, so if you can take the time and do that whenever you're doing the artificial insemination, as far as, having sickle cell, why can't you do the same thing? And like I said, I commend you for that, because some people, they just be like, he fine, I'm about to fuck him. You know what I'm saying? Like not even thinking about, oh wow, you said your baby has sickle cell disease also. Wow.
Yeah. And it could be prevented, if you take the necessary step. You can't help who you fall in love with, but I think before it gets to that point, you need to discuss that. If you plan on having a child with this person. And I know stuff happens, but I know I wasn't gonna let it happen that way. Because knowing what I deal with. So yeah. And with the like how people pick the eye colors and stuff out of their kids. I be thinking, like, with that, you're messing with God's creation. The baby's supposed to just be how the baby's supposed to be.
Right. Yeah. No, that's real. That's real. What are some encouraging things that you can tell someone who may be looking to have a baby that has sickle cell? Right.
I mean, it's like, even if you have sickle cell, I look at it like this, because this is how I was raised, and people who's raising a child with sickle cell, don't put limitations on your child. Don't tell your child what they can and cannot do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you've been told enough of that from the doctors, right?
Yeah.
So it's doable. If that's a dream of yours, if you see yourself wanting to be a mother, of course it's going to have challenges like any other, thing. But just make sure you're informed first, right? And make sure you have like a tribe, because sickle cell is not going to stop after you have a child. The crisis is not going to stop after you have a child. So you have to make sure you have that village or somebody who's in your corner when you do have to go to the hospital and they're able to take your child, somebody trusting, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I see a comment that says
so if you
now-
plan on doing those things, you need to make sure you have that lined up as well.
Right. I see a comment that says nowadays people are not having kids with sickle cell on purpose. It's happening on accident nowadays. And, you know, again, I guess it's now having to vet the people that you're with or dating. And,
Yeah.
And not that we should have already been doing that. I mean, you know, because that's the way life is. And it hasn't been happening for so long because nobody took the time to do it. But if we want to prevent something, sometimes we can't depend on a cure or we definitely can't depend on the government to help us. So we got to depend on ourselves to make it happen.
Yeah, and to take that initiative, just like you take the time out to see if he has funds and money, or take the time out to see if he have all those things. You can take the time out to see if he have the tree. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can take the time out to see his family history or ask him about it. You know, and if it's somebody that cares about you, they gonna comply. You know, like, okay, I want to have a baby with this person. Let me check. Let me see. You know, it doesn't take, like, all it takes is a blood test. It doesn't take, you know, the moon, the earth, the stars to move shit out the way. Just get it done.
Right.
Yeah.
That's real. Wow. Now, when you first, you know, talk to your partner about it, how did they feel? What did they say? Like,
he didn't even know what it was, girl. He didn't even know what it was, like.
wow.
And I had to explain to him, and he kind of saw, like, when I had to go to the hospital and stuff like that. So he had no issue with it. He just was not informed because he had nobody in his family that dealt with sickle cell or even know what it is, you know?
right. And it says,
Yeah,
and please, if you have kids with sickle cell, please listen to them and take them serious. Don't make them feel like a burden. That's the worst thing you can do. You know, have you ever felt like, you know, talking to your family that you were a burden, you know, especially dealing with it alone? Nobody really knows how to deal with it or what to do. Or did you feel like at times that you was a burden?
Yeah, sometimes, because my mom had other kids to take care of. You know, I think as a warrior, you learn really early on that you're going to be isolated. You're going to be by yourself majority of the time because your mom have other kids, you know, that she has to leave, she has to take care of, and you try not to bother people. I guess that's what, you know, we say, because some people tend not to have the right words to say. When you tell somebody you're in the hospital, that's why a lot of people deal with it alone, or they wouldn't say, oh, I'm in the hospital, because they'll be like, girl, you're in the hospital again.
Right.
Girl, dang, you stay in the hospital. That's not something you want to tell somebody who's dealing with those issues, because bad enough, they probably didn't even want to tell you they was in the hospital. You probably just found out. Or you just probably talked to them and they end up telling you. But as an early age, you learn how to deal with those things. We, like I say, isolation is not a problem with us. A lot of us be alone any goddamn way, majority of the time.
Right. Now, you know, having to be alone versus wanting to be alone is different. You know,
Yeah.
how does that make you feel mentally, knowing that you have to be alone? It's not even that you really want to be alone, because I'm sure that anybody that's dealing with an autoimmune disease or sickle cell, like, we don't want to be in a hospital by ourselves. Like, even though we don't want to drag nobody into having to deal with, you know, because it comes with a lot, having to be in the hospital.
It does. And then you, like he said, you have this inner guilt, even mom guilt, like for the moms who be in the hospital and they can't properly be there for their kids. You know, mom guilt is one thing, you know, that eats you up. So imagine just having guilt overall, dealing with it and feeling like a burden. But I had to change that mindset, because I feel like if you have the right tribe and the right people, that response is not going to be that way, and you're not going to feel that way if you're around the right people and the right tribe, because they have some people who make you feel like, it's your fault.
Yeah.
And you can't help how you was born,
Exactly. Now, what are some things that, have you ever lost a friend or, family member or someone that was close to you stopped talking to you because of what you're dealing with?
No, not. Thank God I didn't have to, because I feel like people will vanish along the way. If they're meant for you, friendship, anyone, they're going to be here. You know what I mean? So the people that wasn't, I don't look at it as a loss. I just look at it as like life goes on, and I continue to live my life and they kind of just vanish and weave themselves out throughout the process.
Right.
Right.
What keeps you, do they call it remission for y'all too? Like how lupus is? Like
remission? Not really, no. Like you're talking about as we go through crisis and stuff like that, and we don't have a crisis in a while. No, it's not really a remission. It's just, us not having a crisis in a minute,
right.
But I feel like it's because people be saying as you get older, it get worse. That's not necessarily true. I feel like for me, as I got older, it got better for me. Right. And we all not the same, even though we might have the same disease, our bodies are different. So what I might recommend or what works for me might don't work for you.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. What are some things that actually work for you?
First of all, mental. Like, I always tell people, it starts with the mind. For us, stress plays a major factor of setting a crisis. Stress. So if a nigga stressing you out, if you work in a stressful environment,
right.
If you just like dealing with stress, you need to find a way to get rid of that or leave that behind because it's not going to be good for you.
Yeah.
So, because stress triggers a crisis. Stress even kills. You know what I mean? So it starts mentally. And like the last 2 years, I went through like a spiritual transformation, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I started meditating and stuff more and controlling the mind because the mind has a major way of playing tricks on you.
Right.
Like, sending you into stress. Like you're not good enough or, you feeling hopeless or any of those things. You need to learn how to control that.
Yes, definitely. I know one thing is whenever I'm in a lot of stress, I have a real bad lupus flare. But if I'm happy, I'm not really having a lupus flare. I am, but not as bad as if when I'm stressed out. So I totally get that. Like,
so you can resonate, right?
Yes.
Because you're dealing with, lupus as well.
Yes.
So that's why I tell you, it starts with the mind and it starts with stress. Because I left a job due to stress, baby. I'm out of there. Yeah. Anything that stresses me ain't for me.
Right. I can't even afford it. It ain't even about that. Some people they can take it, a regular person. But somebody that has lupus or sickle cell, we can't really take too much stress for our mental health in our bodies because we don't deal with stress like everybody else does. And even though we deal with stress like everybody else does, our body doesn't deal with stress like everybody else's does.
Yeah, so it'll send you into a crisis or send you into, which I call for lupus when you go into a flare-up. Right? It's a flare-up for y'all? Yeah. So it most definitely will send you into a flare-up. So I tell everybody, recommend that stay out of if you can, stressful work environment, stressful relationships. Meditate. That helps a lot.
Oh, yes.
Like,
my God.
Control the mind, control the body, and that, like, center yourself because that plays a big part, and your diet, what you eat, So you have to be mindful of that as well. And for us, weather is a big thing. So you got to because we can feel it coming. Like weather, you have to prepare yourself.
Yeah.
When cold is coming, prepare yourself, And sometimes a crisis, no matter what you do, you can prepare for it. It'll still happen.
Right.
So
so weather affects us too. So weather affects which affects you the worst, the cold or the heat?
The cold, girl. I'm a summer baby. Put me in the heat, girl. I don't like the cold.
But I can't stand directly in the sun for too long.
Okay. Yeah, so
it'll
that'll
drain
cause
you
you
and
to
make me
flare
have a
up.
flare up. It's like,
Yeah.
ugh. I won't even be awake for the rest of the day. I'll be asleep. They'll be like, "Girl, what? You good?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, no."
Yeah, the cold, girl, the cold. I can't say how my warriors make it up north, baby, because I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, y'all dealing with -6 and shit. I can't.
Right.
Mm.
And you know,
Yeah,
when the weather affect us, it goes straight to our bones. It don't just like the
Yes,
surface,
the bones.
like how sometimes when regular people they get cold in the skin. No, we get cold in the bone and the muscles and the joints.
Yes,
And
yes.
it hurts so
It's the
bad. It's not
same.
even just like a regular hurt. It's like almost like a burning type of ugh.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same for us too. It's the joint pain, the bone pain, and you can feel it coming. Like it's crazy because it'll start. Like for me, I could feel it coming in the lower back. Like oh shit,
Yes.
here we go. I remember I was on a date, and I was like, oh shit, I feel it coming. You know, like I got to go.
Yeah. Yeah. And people will be looking like, you need to be a weatherman. No, I don't need to be a weatherman. But I'm sure that the weatherman probably either got lupus or something because, baby, we could feel it. Because sometimes people be like, damn, that weatherman can't be right because, no. I'm feeling it before it comes. So I totally get that.
Yeah.
You know, it's I didn't really get a chance to, have this one-on-one talk with my friend. You know, she would tell me about the things that she was going through, but I didn't get to, like, I don't want to say compare.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm comparing. It's that I just really want to know. And I had no idea that, the weather affects you all too. I had no idea. Like, I'm learning. That's why I was like, I don't want to just read what's on the internet. And that's why I wanted my friend so we could do this together and she could, answer questions. And so that's why I'm like, any warrior, please, if you are willing to speak.
Yeah. And I'm sorry to hear about your friend, but she's around spiritually.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure she's so proud of you,
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so, because I want to learn. I want other people to learn, because there's so many other people that have no idea what sickle cell even is. And if you didn't know, it's more common in people of color.
Yeah, it is. It's people of color, because when I was younger, that's when they used to have us in a room together. I was in a room with, I think she was like Mexican descent, and she had sickle cell as well.
Right.
So, it affects African Americans the most, but it's Mediterranean and Central Caribbean. Yeah.
Exactly. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you, nowadays, do you still find yourself, alone?
Girl, it's crazy because I don't know if it's a bad thing or a good thing, but I like my solitude, So I don't know if it's me just growing up into it. Girl, I'll be up here jamming, music playing, sliding across the floor, dancing. I like my solitude, girl.
Are you married?
Girl, no, I just got out of girl, I had to get out of that relationship. I just got out of a long-term relationship, and that was a part of the stress. Like in the last 2 years, so my health really went up, as far as like mentally, I'm not in the hospital as much. So, for me, everything went up for me.
Right.
Yeah, that shit was toxic, girl.
Yeah, no, I get it. I do want to ask this. Do you ever experience, because I was, going back and listening to my friend's videos, and she had, a really tough time with the doctors. Did you have, or do you ever have a tough time with the doctors? Do they treat you fucked up sometimes?
Girl, yes. I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
Girl, yes, from both ends, because I worked in the medical field. Just hearing. I worked in the medical field as an inmate and a surgical tech, right? So you kind of hear, and just as a patient, like they have really, really good doctors and nurses, and then you have assholes, like the ones who there for the money. They're not there for to help, to give that quality care service. You know what I mean? Like, and I talk to like doctors or up and coming nurses. Like, if you're not in it for the right thing, don't do it.
Right.
If you're not there for the to help,
Yeah.
don't do it because of the money, because you're gonna get burnt out and you're gonna mistreat the patients, and they don't deserve that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a couple of times that I had to report a doctor, report a nurse, you know, and I do it like this, advocate for myself. I'm not gonna be like ignorant, you know. I'm a combat it with knowledge, you know, and I'm gonna combat it with the proper steps and the protocols.
Right.
Because, you know, going back and forth or being ignorant when I say cussing them out and this and that, it's not going to get you nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a proper way of doing, taking a proper steps. Because I had a doctor told me that I didn't look sick. Like, how you want me to look?
Right.
You know, I don't understand how you want me to, because we get that all the time. Oh, you don't look sick,
Right.
or
Don't let us come in there with our makeup done.
yes. Or you even trying to go in there to look presentable, because if not, they're gonna be like, oh, you look like you're on drugs.
Yeah.
You know, because they test you anyway.
Yeah.
Like, even if people don't know that, that's why they ask for urine, because they're testing you to make sure
And I
you're not.
specifically be like, well, what are you testing me for?
Yeah, they're testing you. And my thing is, you try to make yourself look presentable so you wouldn't get this stigma or whatever it is that they have, and they still treat you. So it don't matter, like, if you go in there presentable or not. It depends on, like, you like, Lord have mercy, hopefully I have a good doctor on staff today, an understanding doctor, a nurse, you know.
Ryan
Because
said
you
I
can
had
have everything in the file saying, this is my pain program, this is my pain, program that'll help me, and they'll be like, I don't feel comfortable with doing that. Excuse
Right.
me?
right.
Yeah, like, well,
Especially,
find somebody that's
I
comfortable.
don't like, and right, I see what you said. You said I had a doctor tell me the pain isn't real and it's in my mind. And listen, they try to tell me that, and they even diagnosed it. They called it something. It was called, I can't remember the name of it, but they misdiagnosed me because they really misdiagnosed me because I didn't find out till years later that it was really something wrong. And I really hate the fact that they'll be like, well, what helps you better? What pain med can I give you that'll make, that'll take away alleviate a little bit of this pain? And when I be like, well, Dilatas or Oxys or Roxys, you ask me.
Right.
Why
Exactly.
ask what'll help me and get me through? And when I tell you, and not all doctors are like that. Some people be like, they wouldn't even flinch. They'll just write the script.
Yeah. Yeah. And just like you said, like, they have, which I have, like, I love, like, some of the nurses, because, we have to deal with them our whole lives, you know?
Yeah.
And I have a high respect for them. But the ones who's just like a bitch and who feel like they're the doctor wrote this, right? Order. Oh, I don't feel comfortable with giving you that. I don't think you should, ma'am. You're not the doctor, you know?
Right.
You have to follow the protocol of what's written.
Exactly.
And if you say you don't feel comfortable, find somebody else that is.
Right.
Because I'm not about to, this is my life. I'm not about to sit here and suffer in silence, because you don't want to do your job.
Right. Exactly.
No, I'm not doing that. Yeah.
Now, is there a specific hospital that you go to? Or did you have to ever leave a hospital because of how they treated you and what you?
Yeah, girl. Yes, like there was instance I had to leave a hospital and go to another hospital because of a doctor, and this doctor, I don't know, I think he was like racist or something. He was like Arabian or some shit, I don't know, but he was like my retic count and my hemoglobin, he was just trying to push so much blood on me, and I didn't want to do that. Like, no, you're not about to give me three bags of blood. Like, I'm not required of that. I can take one bag. My body's used to being at a certain number, right? You're not about to over transfuse me,
Right.
because the body don't react well to that either. Your body is consistent. Like, if you're a person that sit at a 7.5 and you trying to get put at a 12, or your body's not gonna react nicely to that. You're not about to give me that.
Yeah.
You know, so he was like, I was like being non-compliant. No, I'm not being non-compliant. I know my body, and I'm not about to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So no. So he tried to put it like I was just this non-compliant, combative person because I didn't want to go with his plan.
Right.
You know, instead of kind of meeting me in the middle, like, okay, I understand. You know, that makes sense. But no. And I got up out of there. I don't feel comfortable with you now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And it sucks, you know, especially being a warrior and trying to get the help that you need, or at least make it manageable, which again, it's never gonna be 100%, but to at least make it a little bit manageable. Yeah, we need the help. We need we do the reaching out. We do the steps that we need to do, and then we don't get the help that we need, either because a doctor feels like they know more than us, or they don't feel like really reading our chart. Because if you read the chart, it will say, oh, they have a high you know, because if you have any type of autoimmune disease, sickle cell, you're going to have an automatic high tolerance, period. So you're going to need more than the average, or something stronger than the average, period. You said, oh, and they also, I seen in the comments, someone said something about they be diluting medication.
Yeah, they do, and it's sad, cause if you look at it, we're coming in there for treatment, right? We're responsible for the bill, like we're paying your salary, and then for you not to sit up there and look up, if you're uneducated about it, it only takes a minute to sit there and educate yourself about how to go about treatment. Some of these doctors be so like the God complex, right? Which they know it all, they can't learn nothing, which in medical school, they should be ashamed of themselves, because it should be at least 2 to 3 chapters of sickle cell versus just this one chapter that they're learning.
Right.
You know? And then not only that, if you don't know, because I tell a doctor quickly, if you come in here and ask me how long I had sickle cell, anything like that, you're not educated in it. And I feel like you need to ask for a hematologist. It's, you know, that way you need to, because some doctors, like many hospitals, when I ask for, if I'm not comfortable with the doctor, I'm like, y'all need to bring in a hematologist. And some of them do, you know, that know more about it. Because some doctors feel like you can't tell them anything.
So it's specifically a hematologist that would know more about sickle cell?
Yes, because it's a specialist and they specialize in it.
Okay.
You know, that's who we see outside of the hospital.
Right.
It's a hematologist.
Right, because we see a rheumatologist. I never knew it was a hematologist. Okay.
Yeah, we see a hematologist, and that goes to keep the crisis down. I think some people need a better hematologist. Like if your hematologist is not doing what they need to do as far as getting you pain management, and outside of that, like your folic acid, all the stuff that you need to keep you out the hospital, because it starts with like a plan to keep the crisis down. And if you have the proper plan and the proper hematologist, it will lower the crisis.
Right.
You know? So, you know, it all starts with that as well. Well, it's not just the pain meds, you know, it's other stuff that you need to keep your body, you know, with that right oxygen and stuff, and to keep those cells from sickling. Yeah.
I see in the comments, it says, I rushed my daughter to the ER in the middle of taking her braids down, and the doctor wrote, child looks unkept. That's bullshit.
Yeah, it's sad. It really is. You heard about how my child look when she don't feel good. You know what I mean? Like, that's sad. That's why I go back and read the notes. Yeah, they worry about the wrong. I go back and read the notes and shit. So what that means?
Me too.
Like, you know, like you unkept. What that mean? What does that mean?
Right. One time I went in there. First of all, I was in so much pain, and I didn't have anything to deal with my pain. No pain medicine. So I smoked some weed. They came in, and mind you, I made sure I didn't smell too much like weed when I went in there. They was like, smelled like weed, eyes glossy, don't know if what she's saying is real. What? but fuck the fact that what's already in my chart.
Girl,
It's like y'all didn't even read what's in my chart.
Yes.
So how do you know? Okay, what's the name of the doctor again? What'd you call it?
Oh, a hematologist.
A hematologist. How do you know how to choose the right hematologist, and if the hematologist that you have is the right one for you?
Okay, for me, I sit there. You never want a hematologist that's rushing you. Like, you know how some doctors come in and be like, okay, what's going? You want somebody who genuinely listens, right? Who take your concerns and your pain, seriously. Mm-hmm. And not only that, they're running the right tests. They're sending you to, because with sickle cell, you have to have like yearly eye exams, all that type of stuff,
right.
Because it causes organ damage,
okay.
right?
So that happens with lupus too, but that's because the medications. Same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But with us, organ damage occurs because we don't get enough oxygen when we go into crisis, and if sickles occurs, oxygen is not properly getting to those organs. That's what causes the organ damage. Like your liver, your kidney, your spleens. Right. That's why sometimes we lose organs. A lot of us don't have our gallbladder. A lot of us don't have our appendix. Some people don't have their spleens, and stuff like that. So with a hematologist, it's a person who genuinely care, who's not in there just for a fucking dollar, and who's rushing you, out. They hear your concerns, and they make the adjustments to it, as far as like, okay, and they have a proper plan, and they don't matter like, oh, call me. If you're having a issue at the hospital, call me, and stuff like that as well. Like, all that and discernment, all that comes into play when you're choosing, the right, the right hematologist.
Wow. I see Ryan said that I don't have my spleen. Now, Ryan, can you please answer me? Like, what is it like? Like, what do you mean not have a spleen? Like,
yeah,
am I tripping, or is spleen? Can you explain to me what a spleen is? Maybe I'm slow.
Yeah, with sickle cell patients, the spleen tends to enlarge. So a lot of people have to get it out due to the enlargement. It gets enlarged.
Can you show me where? We talking about the spleen, right?
The spleen is, I think it's on the right side. The spleen is on the right side of the body.
Okay.
But I think due to the enlargement of the spleen, it can cause problems. And when your spleen, we are already prone to infection, right? As a sickle cell patient, when you get your spleen out, you have to take, I think, medication, and it's requiring you to be careful because infection is 10 times more.
She said it's on the right side by your stomach.
Yeah. Yep.
I wonder if, like, is it like right here?
It's like up in here, like the spleen, because the gallbladder is up in here.
The reason why I asked is because the other day when I was in the hospital, you see this?
I see it.
And it feels like it's ripping in the inside. Like I'm ripping, and they looking at me like, I'm like, no, I'm serious. Like I'm tearing right now. They like, oh, well, it's not showing anything on the CAT scan. Of course, because it's a CAT scan. I need something deeper than that because I'm ripping. I'm telling you. I said something is right here.
And they need to do an ultrasound.
Right.
With contrast. You might need an MRI with contrast.
Okay.
Just to see, because it could be your gallbladder as well. It could be, So that's definitely, like, if you're still having those type of pains, you definitely need to,
She said my appendix could be about to burst. Thank you for telling me, because they looking at me like they don't know what's going on. I'm like, hey, like, I'm telling you, like, I'm in pain. They didn't argue with me on what pain medicine to give me. They just gave it to me, but it's like, honestly, I'm the type of person, did I call you a girl? I'm so sorry if I did, Ryan.
Oh, yeah. Ryan's a guy, and he's a nurse, too.
Did I call him a woman? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
That's one of my sickle cell friends. He's a nurse as well. He's so
Ryan,
sweet.
I apologize. I'm talking so fast, I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just, when it comes to our health, we have to be our own advocate, because doctors, regardless, You know, sometimes we'll get some doctors that'll be like, oh, okay, you know, I read her chart. And then sometimes you'll get some doctors that literally won't read your chart. Like, it pisses me off that they try to test me for pregnancy. Like, I don't
They
have
girl, they
any
do
of
that
those
all the time
parts.
too. I be like, I got IUD. They don't care. They're gonna do it all the time as well.
I don't know why.
But
It
I
makes me
feel like,
mad.
you know,
It's just like,
I feel like with anybody who's dealing with any chronic illness, speak up, advocate. This is your life. You only have one life, you know. And if they're not taking it seriously, and if you don't feel comfortable with them taking care of you, that's fine. Ask for another doctor. If not, you know, put somebody else on the case. If not, go to another hospital.
right.
Because they gotta understand, baby. This is our life. We fight for our life every day.
Right.
Every day. We know what's wrong with our body. We can tell you what the pain is. And if you don't believe, if you choose not to believe us, and the number shows, and sometimes, like the doctor, then you cannot measure a sickle cell crisis sometimes. They go by these numbers of your retic count and your blood count, but you cannot, to be honestly, you cannot measure a crisis.
Right.
There's no way of measuring it. You know, they try to go by, like, oh, let me look at her retic count, or let me look at this, or it don't seem like you in crisis. You cannot measure that.
Right.
So it's just crazy with some of the doctors, and they label some of us as drug seekers, right?
Yeah.
You know, oh, she's a drug, sir. We don't do, like, if I'm a drug seeker, baby, I'll be on the street seeking drugs and this and that.
Yeah.
We don't do, like, no, we just want something to keep us out of the pain. The shit is miserable. And we just want to continue to live our lives, baby.
Right.
It's not that serious, you know?
You know, that kind of pissed me off so much that when I have my surgeries, I tell them I don't even want pain meds. Like, I had so many, they went through my stomach and my spine for my 360 spinal surgery, and I didn't take no meds. I literally, it was so painful.
I can imagine.
But I was
you
just
know?
like, it's other stuff that's hurting me, and y'all not paying attention because y'all thinking that I'm high on these meds. No, listen to what I'm telling you, and look at my chart. I'm not high. I ain't took nothing. This is pure pain.
Yeah, and they got to, like, what works for me, people got to understand too, the judgment that comes with that. We accustomed to it, but it's not right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not right. And I feel like for me going through this, the last 2 years, I figured out what kind of worked for me. I did, like I said, I end up doing more, eating cleaner, eating better, right? And I end up meditation, getting myself out of stressful situations. And when it comes to because people be like, what? When it comes to the pain meds, I found out for me that it was causing more pain. It was causing more pain, and with those pain meds, it causes organ damage. Bad enough we're facing organ damage, you know, from the disease.
Not to mention you'll be constipated.
Yeah, and you'll
That
be
hurt worse
constipated.
sometimes than any of the shit.
Yeah, and you'll be constipated and stuff like that. So for me, I try to find like the natural ways. Don't get me wrong. I have my pain meds just in if it becomes unbearable.
That's real.
But that's not something I rely on anymore because I feel like it was causing more pain, if that makes sense. Like, my body was hurting more after, you know, it went off and I don't take it. I found out that, you know, it was just causing more pain for me. Yeah, so I'm like, oh, hell no.
They said, do you experience the yellow in the eyes?
Yeah, the jaundice, Because some days I could wake up, eyes are clear, regular, and then when I wake up, my eyes are yellow. Some
So
days.
jaundice comes and goes?
Yeah, like the yelling of the eyes. Some people have it constant. It just depends on, you know, your body and the bilirubin, because that's what it comes from, the breakdown of the bilirubin that's causing, you know, the jaundice. Some people have it 24, you know, just all the time.
Wow.
And some people don't. Like, some days I wake up, my eyes are clear, and some days I wake up, it's yellow. Yeah, it comes and goes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's due to the bilirubin, the breakdown of the bilirubin. So yeah, it comes and goes. Yeah, all things. Yeah.
What
So,
are some of
but
your
I-
biggest struggles that you deal with right now? You know, even I know you said you're having a good
Better, yeah.
Okay.
Even though I have like, it's better for me. I still have the challenges of being like tired, you know. And then as a mom and as a person that works, and you know,
Right.
you be tired. Fatigue sets in. Like, damn, I'm
Yeah.
tired today. You
Right.
know, like shit. But I still have to get up and I still have to do what I need to do.